Why you should still be wearing Versace Dylan Blue in 2024, quickly heading into 2025. Okay, this is a 2016 release, and while it has been super popular and hyped up and has quickly become the signature scent of many guys out there, I still think this one holds a ton of value. I still think just about every guy should have this in their collection. We're going to go over a few reasons why I think that. Now, first things first, I will provide a link to this one down below. It's important to basically just not buy this at retail, because the first point that we're going to move into here quickly is price point. So it will be at discounters, linked down below. And if you do want to pick up a sample before you buy a full bottle, we can help you out with that, decantcenter.com. We've got a lot of other designer niche fragrances to choose from too. Try before you buy. We'll help you keep from making a costly mistake of purchasing something expensive that you might not like. In the case of Dylan Blue, that might be less of an issue, okay? Because the first reason why you should still be buying Dylan Blue is the budget-friendly aspect. This is a $40 to $45 scent on discounters at most of the major ones, okay? If you're paying anywhere over $50, you're paying too much. For 100 ml, let me clarify that again. 100 ml, you should not be paying in excess of $50, okay? If you're at 49, at your favorite discounter or something, still worth it, okay? But when you start getting into 60 plus, that's too much. I don't know off the top of my head what the 200s are going for. A lot of times, not a whole lot more. So if you can get a 100 for, let's say $40, you might be able to jump up to a 200 ml for like $55 to maybe $60 sometimes, which is a great deal, especially if you're going to be wearing it often. You're doubling the amount of scent, for an extra, I don't know, whatever it is, $15 or $20, right? So it works out to be in your favor if you were to burn through a bottle, which this one would be easy to do. There aren't too many really, really good fragrances in this price range anymore. There just aren't, okay? And are there still some? Of course there is, okay? Because I know I'm going to be getting comments. Well, what about this? What about this? Yes, to those. I'm sure those are amazing, right? You can make a case for about anything because this is a very subjective hobby. But that list is shrinking year over year as retail prices are going up, as everything is going up. The discounter prices are going to follow because nobody is in the business to lose money, right? So that's just how it is. You're running out of options in this price range, at least really, really good options. And I would consider this to be a premium fragrance for, $40 to $50. I really think that, because of the next reason as well. It's extremely versatile, okay? This is something that you could wear legitimately anytime, anywhere, any day, any season. It doesn't matter. Spring, summer, fall, winter, hot, cold, you can wear this stuff. I remember one of my friends in high school asked, hey, what should I know you make these videos, what fragrance should I wear? And so I told him, dude, get Dylan Blue, all right? And he did. And he wore Dylan Blue every day. Every day I'd see him at school, he was wearing this stuff. I could smell it. I'm like, man, that's awesome. You like it? And he's like, yeah, I do. I like it a lot. I would bet you he still wears Dylan Blue to this day. I actually don't know, but he might. But this stuff, it is such an easy one to get into that just works anytime. It's got a bit of an aquatic note, kind of leaning it in the summer direction, has some incense patchouli, pushing it cooler weather. It's got a lot of ambroxan, which broadens the horizon. It's got just a little bit of a lavender freshness, which broadens the horizon as far as versatility goes. There's nothing you can't do with this stuff. Kind of following that point here, just really quick, essentially you can kind of view it as it's mixing a sport fragrance with something a little bit more sweet and slightly seductive and intimate. The reason why I would put it that way is because it's sporty fresh from the fresher notes I mentioned, like a bergamot, ambroxan, sea notes. But the patchouli incense combination mixing with those gives it a smoky and alluring and slightly mysterious smell, which really works in its favor. This is my original bottle too. This is the one that I bought about 7 years ago. I don't know, can you see it? It's right here. I have a 200 ml bottle as well, but okay, I give up. The focus doesn't work. But yeah, this really, it has a combination of both of those worlds, which just typically is a high success rate for compliments. The next reason, and this is a big one, why Dylan Blue is such a good scent for the price, why I still think it is one worth picking up and wearing these days, is it has great projection and longevity. I'm telling you guys, okay, I've been putting out videos for a long time. One of the most common questions I get, both from people asking me like online and when I tell people about a scent in person, is, well, does it last long? Does it have good performance, right? That is one of the main questions, and it makes sense. If you're gonna spend, in this case, 45 bucks or so, but a lot of times it could be, if you're gonna spend $100, $150, $200 on something, you want it to actually last on your skin. It does make sense. As annoying as it might be sometimes, I can't blame anyone for asking that question. So in the instance here, $45 or so, yes, it does last a long time on your skin. I mean, it has always been a very consistent 10 to 12 hour performer. And to use that word consistent, I mean, it's not like I hit 12 hours from at one time and I'm like, oh, it performs for 12 hours, everybody. Like it was a common occurrence. I mean, I was trying to show the level of this one. It didn't work. The focus wasn't working. Yeah, it's down to about here. And this is just my 100 ml, not the 200 ml bottle that I have, not the 100 ml bottle that I have in my truck as well, that has come in handy multiple times when I forget to wear a scent. I've worn this a lot, and it's always a consistent 10 to 12 hour performer. I mean, it's kind of like when you spray it on in the morning, you're committed to it for the rest of the day. It really doesn't go away on its own unless you scrub it off. That's relatively uncommon for fragrances in this price range. There are plenty of scents out there that go for a bit more than this one, maybe double the price or a bit more than double the price, that have amazing performance. But to get something this strong for this price point, just borderline on the edge of a cheapy price, that is just uncommon. The next reason why I think everybody should own this one, and it's an obvious one, and I kind of already touched on it, but it's a huge compliment puller. You're not going to find too many people who don't like it. That's just the simple fact, okay? Now, the argument that you would have against that would be, well, because it is so popular, people might be less likely to say something. And maybe, fair point. I think that is highly dependent on where you live, right? Because if you live in a highly populated area where every guy, a lot of guys are wearing colognes, could be an issue that you run into. But not everybody lives in areas like that. Like around here, it's a non-issue. So I think it's worth kind of taking that into consideration when you're doing your purchasing. Think of, what you smell around you, right? I mean, just next time you go out, pay attention to it. Are you smelling blue fragrances like this? Then maybe this won't yield you as many compliments compared to if you just never smell fragrances on anybody. But generally speaking, this type of scent, and this one here in particular, is a huge compliment puller. It's high quality for the price too. It's not a niche quality scent. I wouldn't even say that it quite has the quality of a Dior or a Chanel or an Armani or a YSL. Those are some of the top designer brands out, and they are some of my favorite fragrances. I think typically when I'm recommending things to people, usually it's going to be from one of those brands. YSL, Armani, Dior, Chanel sometimes, maybe Gucci every now and then, but typically it's somewhere around in there when I'm telling people, what to pick up. Aside from things like in a more budget-friendly sense, Dylan Blue and things like that. Versace, they have good quality products for the price. Again, they might not be as premium as you would expect, or maybe not even expect, but might not be as premium as the more expensive competition. But at this price point, can you really complain? I mean, it's great for the price. So the last point I'm going to make for this one here, I was looking over a couple more and they were kind of seeming redundant after I read over them again. So I'm going to skip to the last one. Is it does have a nice soft dry down to the point where I think this makes it for a good like date night, close encounter type of scent. Some scents, like for example, in the similar category, Dior Sauvage, Eau de Toilette, even Eau de Parfum, they're still very peppery and strong in the dry down, which is good for certain situations, but in like a date night, close encounter situation, that's just not really what you want. I mean, that could become just a little bit annoying, just constant projecting of pepper and ambroxan. This one, the patchouli, the incense, calm it down, smooth it out, and it's a lot more alluring in that type of scenario in the dry down. So I think that gives this one an extra layer of versatility as well. You know, for many, Versace Dylan Blue is nothing more than a basic bro, soapy scent that isn't all that exciting, right? And again, fair enough. For a lot of people, this is a no-brainer type of scent that works. Most people aren't made of money and can't go out and buy multiple $100 niche fragrances, nor do they want to. And so if you're looking for something affordable for the everyday guy that does the intended purpose that you want, which is likely getting compliments and actually getting your money's worth out of it based on actually lasting on your skin throughout the day, Dylan Blue, it checks those boxes. Give it a try, okay? Again, it's been out for a while, it's popular, but it still works. I still recommend it in videos whenever it makes sense to do so. You know, I would love to see a flanker, right? I think they've been focusing a lot on the Eros line right now. And I mean, why not a Dylan Blue Parfum, a Dylan Blue Elixir, right? Just something. I think they could really work this DNA and make it even better, or at least give us a nice, well overdue refresh. I would love it. I would love to see that. So again, I will link Dylan Blue down below if you're looking for a full bottle. You can check those prices out down below. If you're looking to try before you buy, we have samples of this one for next to nothing on our website. This stuff isn't very expensive to begin with. Most blind buy it, but if you're placing an order with us for some more expensive decants and you know, you just want to toss this one in for, I don't know, I think we got it for 10 bucks starting out with. It's something you can do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.